In elementary school, we had electives, and I remember going to my favorite elective, which was chorus. There was a song that we learned about our country. And at the time, of course, being a small child, I did not understand how significant the song was. And the name of that song was called My Country 'Tis of Thee. And I'm not going to try to sing it, even though I love to sing. I just got finished singing. So my voice is a little hoarse. But the words are, My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. And the part that I want to bring out is this: land where my fathers died. My fathers died. And whether you are white American or whether you are Black American, it is very important that we honor our fathers. What has happened over the years is that we have allowed other people to come in to America and into our nation. And sometimes they come in pretending to be like us, like Kendrick Lamar says, but they're not like us. They may have the same skin complexion as you, but they're not you. The fabric of the United States were built on a particular people, whether that be white Americans whose grandfathers helped to create this country or put through the system of how this country will be ran, or whether it's Black Americans whose fathers built the country. You have those two groups. And what has happened over the years is that we have allowed different cultures and different people to come in, whether they look white or whether they look Black. And what they have done is they've kind of infiltrated into these communities of either white or Black, and they've congregated amongst us. And now we are in a place to where we cannot tell the difference unless it is being said. This brings me to Kamala Harris. We should be irate as American descendants of slaves, known as ADOS or FBA, Foundational Black Americans. We should be irate that someone only uses their Black card when it is convenient for them. We should be angry at that, because that's not what our fathers died for. It's almost like, for an example, you work hard. Not only do you work hard for yourself, but you work hard for your offspring. And as you get older and you review all of the assets that you have made over the years, when you look at your land, at your houses, all of your assets, it is now time to start giving your assets out to your children. So you might say, Sally, you're going to get A, B, C, and D. Tyreek, you're going to get A, B, C, and D. And you start dividing your assets, the things that you worked hard for, the things that you fought for, the mornings that you got up to go to work and you didn't feel like it. Your body was run down and beat down, but you got up anyway because you knew that you had a family to support. And then you get the opportunity to do this thing that we call retirement. And now it's time to start putting our business in order. That's what our forefathers did for us. They put in that work. They made it possible. They bled, was abused, and died so that their other generations could have a chance. And to allow someone to come and take what's rightfully yours is an insult. And I don't understand why we're not mad about it. I don't understand. Now, some people are, and I don't believe everything that the news says. But some of us have forgotten where we came from. We have forgotten the sacrifices that our forefathers made. How are we, whether it be on the Republican side or the Democratic side, how are we going to allow someone who is not American to have the highest position in America? They're not like us. Kendra told you that a few months ago. Have you forgotten? And that goes for white and black American. They're not. How are we going to allow someone, whether your grandfather was white or whether your grandfather was black, who actually put in that work? How are we going to allow someone from a whole different culture to come in and qualify to become the highest position of these United States? And I'm not just talking about Kamala. Now, even on the Republican side, I am so glad that President Trump did not nominate Vivek as his vice president. And it's a lot of us, and when I say us, I'm talking about Black Americans, descendants of slaves, who was all for Vivek. Vivek is an East Indian. I don't care how hard he tries to be an American, he's first generation. His grandfather, his father, and those before them, they didn't put no work over here in the United States to make it the greatest nation in the world. That was our folks. But yet and still, a lot of people are jumping on the Vivek bandwagon. Let me tell you something. Those who believe in the Bible, those who say in God we trust, talking about the son of Mary, okay? There had to be, or it had to be a very smart, conniving, influential serpent in order to get Eve to betray not only her God, but her husband. That serpent came in very charismatic. He came in saying all of the right things, like Vivek. He came in under the illusion of unifying. But he's not like us. That snake with Eve had to say some powerful stuff in order to win her over. Kamala, her Vivek probably related. Her mother is from East India. And her father's so-called Jamaican. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I have found out and I have noticed that a lot of people who come over here with the same skin color as descendants of slaves, they get the benefits that were supposed to be exclusively for the descendants of slaves. And all minorities, except the ones that the bill was intended for, are benefiting from.
Human rights are not civil rights?
No, I think civil rights are for blacks.
See, this is essentially the problem, and the Republicans don't understand.
What have we done to the immigrants? We owe black people something. We have a legacy of slavery. Immigrants haven't even been in this country.
But you see,
America, why? Why are we allowing people who are not like us even qualify for these positions? They're coming in with all types of guys. They're not going to tell you that. They're coming in with all types of cultures, all kind of practices, all type of worships. And you don't think that's going to influence us? You don't think it's going to cast some type of spirit within the United States? You don't think that they were brought up, even though they were here in America, you don't think that they were brought up with some of those customs and traditions? And yet and still we allow them to qualify now. I don't know what the future's going to hold. And I still pray that Trump wins. I believe he will. And I'm praying that he does. When 2028 gets here, I hope JD Vance, and I hope he listens. I know he won't, but I hope he does not choose Vivek as a vice president, because that's just as dangerous. He is a snake. He is very eloquent. He almost had me. But I had to listen closely. Same with Kamala. You're using my people, what my fathers died for. I can prove my lineage. And you're using that to gain clout. And some of us are just as silly as a day old. Don't have no sense. I don't think that our men are important. Don't think that we need a man. What? Life cannot go on without the seed. Life cannot be created without the seed. We don't have the seed. Anyway, I'm not going to hold this video much longer. But please consider what I said. My country, our country, land where our fathers died. Not everybody who looked like us, but our fathers died. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. Don't take your inheritance. White descendants, black descendants. Don't take your inheritance that your fathers bled and died for, that your fathers constructed. Don't just hand somebody else your inheritance. There's other offices that you can run for, but to be the leader of these United States, descendants only. Let me know what you think. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. comment below, and I will see you in the next video. May God bless.